There's something we need to address. I think all of you guys need to start air frying your grapes. Or baking if you don't have an air fryer, but it's 2022, so you need an air fryer. But this has been my favorite way of eating grapes lately. It's so good, it's so simple. And it starts with purple grapes. You can use any color if you want to. But I think the purple ones make this recipe look so much prettier. I have these long ones because longer is always better, but you're gonna want 100 grams or 1 cup of grapes. And you wanna start by slicing all of them lengthwise in half. Like this. But split them open. So 2 halves. These are moondrop grapes or gumdrop grapes, one of the two. I forgot the name, but they're really, really good. I think they taste amazing. And I saw them at the grocery store. And I was like, I'm feeling quite fancy today. I see you sitting next to the regular grapes, and I'm gonna go for the upgrade. I might not have a Lamborghini, but I have the Lamborghini of grapes. To be honest, I like green grapes much more than red grapes. I always have, always will. But for this recipe, I think you want the red ones. And you also really don't have to cut them lengthwise. You can cut them any way you want, but you just want the inside to be facing outwards. Basically, when we air fry these, the juices from the inside will pop. And you don't want the grape to be in its whole form. You want it to be in its sliced form. So now that you have your grapes all sliced up, let's add some stuff to it. This is gonna be a savory recipe. It's also gonna be a pretty fancy recipe, and it starts with some vinegar. You can use balsamic vinegar if you want to, but I like red wine vinegar. I think it's easier to find and easier to use. And balsamic vinegar has calories. This does not. We also need to add some sweetness to this grapes, and if you know me, you know my favorite sweetener. That's a syrup. It is not honey because honey has calories, and we don't want those. It is sugar-free maple syrup. Amazing stuff. You can use real maple syrup if you want to, or you can close your eyes, use this stuff, save on the calories, and imagine it's real, or you can use honey. Drizzle some on top of the grapes, and then drizzle some in your mouth. You deserve it. Those calories don't count. Anytime you do that, it doesn't count. And we are gonna need 2 specific seasonings for this recipe. We want some thyme and we want some rosemary. If you only have one of these, it works fine. This is what makes this recipe taste a little bit fancy. So basically, if you stick your pinky out and you don't have these seasonings, you'll get the same effect. I don't quite know how to describe these spices. I feel like the best way to describe it is, it feels like it's Thanksgiving time. Except there's no turkey, we have grapes instead. And some salt and pepper. Especially the salt, it's gonna bring out all the flavors and you absolutely need it. Grapes with some seasoning, with some syrup, and with some acid. Give it a mix. And now it's time to bake these or air fry these 300 degrees for exactly 7 minutes. We wanna get these warm, we wanna get the grapes roasted and toasted and get these juices popping in here. So take your bowl and put it right in your air fryer basket, and this goes in. While your grapes are in the air fryer or in your oven, we're gonna make a quick spread because these are gonna go on toast. It's grape toast, baby. We're gonna wanna use some Greek yogurt, the second best creamy thing in the world. I'm making 2 toasts, so I'm gonna use 60 grams, which is 4 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons on each piece of toast. Salt, pepper, and bring back the same spices. There's no reason to change anything. The spices on the grapes are gonna get drier and toasted, and these ones are gonna be fresher, even though they're already dried. Rosemary and thyme. And now we have our herbed Greek yogurt. Look how thick that is. This is some good Greek yogurt. If you wanna use cream cheese, or if you wanna use ricotta, that is completely fine too. Both of those work really, really well. But if you know me, you know that I love Greek yogurt. If you've got some parsley and you want to add some more greenness to this, just go for it. Add some in. If you don't have parsley and you still want to add some greenness to it, hold up, let me take you. I'll show you what you need to use. You want to use this stuff. I have a lot of it, so if you don't have any near you, or if you're running low, you can take some of mine. Just don't use any of these. Don't use any leaves. That's not green. The grapes are still baking, so I think I'm gonna put the leaves back where they belong, up there. I think I can do that in the next, I guess I don't have 7 minutes anymore because I spent some time making the Greek yogurt spread, but I think I have around 4 minutes. Should be enough time. And after 7 minutes at 300 degrees, you want to put it on broil for just 2 minutes. In my air fryer, that would be the highest temperature, 450 degrees for just 2 minutes, or in your oven, it's going to be the broil setting. That just gets everything super bubbly, super warm, and gets the grapes super jammy. You don't want to keep going until they turn into raisins. That's going to take hours, but 7 minutes on bake, 2 minutes on broil. Let's assemble the grape toast. I am using rice cakes as my toast. I'm using Magic Pop Kim's rice cakes. You could use any rice cakes you want. These are amazing because they're only 15 calories and they're huge. When I say I'm a human bobblehead, I'm a human bobblehead. And it's almost as big as my face, to give you some sort of reference of size. Once you have your spread on there, you know what's next. The bowl should be cool enough for you to hold it, and that's when you know your grapes are ready to be put on toast. If you want to be fancy, you can arrange them, or you could just dump them on. A little extra parsley on top for prettiness. Grape toast. I recommend you take a grape and try it by itself. It's so jammy, it's extra sweet and a little bit acidic, it's so good. Take some of that extra grape juice that's at the bottom and just drizzle it right on the rice cake. And I recommend you eat these fresh because you want the grapes to be slightly warm when you eat it. This is such an easy snack. The grapes are popping in my mouth. And it's so simple and it's so good. I like to throw some feta sprinkled on top. And you might think this is gross, but I think this is so good. Some grainy ground mustard. Throw a couple of these drops on, and then just take a bite. And the extra acid from the mustard, I don't know why I like it so much. I'm telling you, these grapes are so good. They're soft, they're jammy. I put a few on for presentation's sake, but I think you know what's next. Throw all the grapes on, and that extra juice. A couple of droplets of mustard. The grape just exploded in my mouth. I don't know what to do. From now on, start air frying your grapes. You don't have to put it on Greek yogurt if you don't want to. You don't have to put it on a rice cake if you don't want to, but toss those grapes in an air fryer, put them on something and eat them, and you will be glad you did. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. And let me know what else you think. Should it belong in an air fryer? And I'm gonna toss it in mine and see if it works out. I'll see you in the next one.